Welcome to the Rob the Savage podcast. I got another special guest here. The legend, Tyler Lusk.
Yo.
I appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited, to be one of the first to be on the platform. And, I know it's going to go crazy. So, I'm glad I got here early before you get too big out here in the streets, man.
He crazy, man. Hey, I'm appreciative of you to come out, man. You the big time moving shake out here. I had to get you on film. But we're going to dive right into it, man. So tell me about yourself, man. Who is Tyler Lusk?
Man, Tyler Lusk, I would say, is just a all-around hustler, entrepreneur. Just, whatever I can find that could, move that needle or, make things happen for me and my family and, our future to better us. You know what I'm saying? So, I like to take advantage of opportunities in that way, which is, how me and you met playing football, Division I football. I can't lie, I wasn't really in love with it, but I knew what it could bring. You know what I'm saying? So my whole life, that's what it's always been, just growing up. I'm from the projects, you know what I'm saying? So growing up, just trying to change our situation. But trying to change our situation, bro, is always like, I always was just forward thinking, like, how can I put us in a better position and not be, another statistic for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we come from the same cloth, man, and I'm grateful that we even met at Tennessee State, the Tennessee State University, put it out there. But, man, we didn't watch each other grow, and you're killing the game, man, in the whole real estate / financial literacy world, doing your thing, man. So tell us about Cashville Investor.
Appreciate it. Just coining Nashville, because that's where I do a lot of my deals at, is in Nashville, Tennessee. And, Nashville is our capital. So Nashville has a term where they call it Cashville. So I was just thinking, like, what would I like to create this like superhero whenever I do certain things, you get what I'm saying? So like whenever I start a journey, I like to create a superhero for that journey. So I came up with Cashville Investor. So when it comes to doing deals and things like that, I put on the Cashville Investor hat and I'm just going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just conquering everything and doing several deals, as many as I can, until I take that hat off and then back to being a family man.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad you said that piece there, because me and you both, that's the realm that we both are in. But I will say this, man, what's something that corners you outside of football that made you want to dive into the real estate market? Because out of all the fields that's out there, and I know, of course, your field in college was even in this lane, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to get into this lane and I'm going to take over it?
I would say it'd probably be the fact that, trying out for different teams. We started doing the sports acting professionally and things like that, but it's, nothing really kept adding up to where I would gain the financial success that we would have if, we would have went all the way to the NFL, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get into an industry that can actually protect me, and I can buy assets and learn about having assets and leveraging those assets and still have the same financial success that I would if I was to be a professional athlete.
Okay. Look, I mean, we're going to pivot a little bit and come back to the real estate part. I want to dig a little deeper about Tyler Lusk, man. I know recently, man, you told me you took a trip to California, man. You met somebody you ain't seen in a long time. Can you express that a little bit of what that was?
Yeah, man. I went out there. I actually met my father, bro. After going to TSU, I did, I started to learn more about, Black history and things like that.
Okay.
So, I was always curious about, like, okay, started learning, seeing that there was Black success and things. And I was like, there must be more to it, to the root of me and who I am. Like, you just can't tell me that I'm African American, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do like an ancestry DNA just to see where my roots come from. So when I did the ancestry DNA, my results came back and I was like 93% Nigerian. And I was like, what? That's way too close. I've never met my father before, and just wanted to see if we could connect and see if we can put two and two together. And, he flew out here. We did a, DNA test, and it turned out to be he was my dad. And just, everything's just been great ever since. And I flew out there, I met him, and, he's a really great person. I wish he had been around throughout my younger years just the way that he did as well. But, genetics just kind of, still flow because I ended up still being a great person just like he is.
Right. Okay. And that's beautiful, man, that you were able to connect with him and y'all on good terms, man. Y'all starting to learn each other. Probably seeing some of your ways in him. He could probably say vice versa. I will say this, man. You're a great family man. Let's dive in a little bit, man, of how meeting your father, how you've also implemented that, and you already were doing this before you met him, on how it's had you navigate your journey with being in fatherhood.
Man, it's just like I spoke about before. It's just just rooted in me to just family first. We're really family oriented about everything that we do. Every single thing that we do, we have to do it for not only ourselves, but for the betterment of our family. And that's just carried over for me. And it's just I always wanted to have children and teach and provide because, I always felt like I wanted somebody to help me coming up. And it was just kind of tough, especially, not having necessarily a father figure. I had some great uncles who luckily, were able to show me the way. But I can just imagine if, someone would reach back sometimes when it comes to, helping someone achieve certain things. And so, I always really just wanted to be in some type of position to mentorship and what type of to mentor someone, but what type of better opportunity would it be than to have your own children and actually mentor them and provide a special way for them to succeed in life. So,
Okay. That's dope, man. Well, look, we're going to segue back into the real estate piece because you got a lot of knowledge, man, that can really change people's lives here in Nashville, Middle Tennessee, and actually the whole Southeast, if they just can hear you talk. What's some advice that you would give to the community here on how they can get into real estate, invest the right way? What's the number one important thing they need to get right? And you pick back off of that.
Yeah, man. I would just say don't get discouraged thinking that you need to have a real estate license or that you need to have $1 million before you can get in the industry because, I actually found a way to get in the industry, and that was through wholesaling when I first started. And that was because I didn't have any money, but I started learning about wholesaling and how you can just flip the paperwork. Mm-hmm. So, in wholesaling, all you're doing is selling your position in the agreement to someone else. So I can sell my position in the agreement to you for a fee. Okay. And that's my wholesale fee.
Okay.
So I have a position in an agreement to buy this property, but maybe I don't want to buy it. Maybe I just want to pass it to you. Okay. So I pass you the piece of paper, you sign it, and you cut me a check for doing that for you. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So that gives you now you're in position to buy that property instead of me.
Right.
So as you can tell, all I needed was a piece of paper and a way to communicate with somebody to let them know that I can help them in their financial situation necessarily, or maybe they just wanted to get rid of the house, whatever it may be. I'm that guy that can help you. So I was really playing the middleman.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So that's really the easiest way to get into it. And I would just start with your peers, ask people, say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm looking to get into real estate, or I'm in real estate. Do you have any property that you're interested in selling? And, once you find interest, just find the interest first, and then everything else will fall in place.
Okay. Well, what is the hottest market you would say between Nashville and Murfreesboro, or just Tennessee period? What's been the most successful market for you?
No better than Nashville for sure. Yeah, Nashville's been great. I would say just like the large amounts of money that you can make on a Nashville deal versus, going anywhere to the outskirts of these smaller cities or smaller states. Nashville's just been, it's just been pivotal to the point of the growth has just been crazy. Right. Ever since you and I were younger, or even in school or even in college, it's almost like, what were we doing playing football? When we could have just been, if we knew something, we could have been buying property around the school.
If we knew. And then
we would necessarily, of course, be just crazy well off, obviously, but nonetheless, still after, football and things like that, we're still able to still take advantage of those opportunities and do well for ourselves. So, yeah. That's
true, man. I tell people, especially close to me, that, our focus was on sports so much in the early years, and we did miss out on those opportunities. But luckily, we always been in the fold to where we can connect with our congressmen or councilmen, anything, and still be in that mix to get a zoning change where it can help us out if we're trying to purchase something. But man, if we could have got on that ball game years ago, seriously. Man, I seen some property in East Nashville back in the day, man. Probably back then it was for $60,000, going easy for $300,000.
Facts.
I'm like, wow, this is. But that wasn't our time yet. Mm-hmm. But now we're taking over now the best way we can.
Yeah. Even think about your grandma. Imagine what. Of course, what she originally bought it for versus what it's worth now, man. And she's still holding it down.
My granddad bought that house probably for some chicken wings and a soda,
Right.
and now it's man they can go for half a meal right now. So yeah, it's wild, man, to see that.
As is.
Yeah, as is, man. Well, look, man, we're gonna conclude this on this, man. How can people find out about Cashville Investor, Tyler Lusk? What's your platform? You got any kind of books out? Did you want to teach the people out there who really want to get into the real estate game?
Yeah, man. If you want to reach out to me, you can find me at on Instagram at Cashville Investor, or you can go to my website at cashvilleinvestor.com. I have resources on there. You know, I have free resources and I have paid resources for you to take advantage of, you know, depending on where you're at mentally inside of your entrepreneurship, goals. So, you know, we also have, like you said, financial literacy opportunities there as well, where you learn about credit, how to leverage your credit, because, you know, necessarily if you got good credit, you can leverage other people's money and then flip properties for free necessarily then too. You know, not just leveraging their money. You got to pay them on the interest or whatnot, but necessarily you're not coming out of pocket necessarily at all. So there's ways that where you can do that, and I can help you and teach you. So, you know, if you have any questions, I do a really good job about making sure my DMs are answered. You know, whether it be me or one of my virtual assistants, I will get the information.
Yeah, I hear that now. He answered the DM. So if y'all gonna be serious, just link into him. He'll get you right. I left one thing out, man. I don't know how I did this. He got his own trucking business too. So if you can a little bit, tell us about that, how you got into that and how to incorporate it with the Cashville Invest.
Yeah, man. Just trucking. One of our partners, Roger Gaines, man, he was in the industry, and then I was interested, and you know, he was open to sharing some knowledge with me, and I was able to take advantage of it. And you know, I also had another friend too that they actually went to high school together, Dominic Reed. You know him.
Oh yeah.
So both of them were pivotal in that, and leveraging our relationships and the people we grew up with to be successful. So. So we bought a few trucks, and then I bought my second truck because my uncle, he had just got out of prison or whatnot, and they were just pretty much not really giving him an opportunity, even to this day, just paying them under the table, telling them that, they can't really put them on a W-2 or anything like that, just paying them some crap. Mm-hmm. So, I was like, man, let's put you in position. I'm buy you a truck. You get out there, you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to be a 6-figure man. And that's what it is,
That's hard.
Yeah. So nonetheless, like I kind of started this conversation with a lot of things that I do is just off the, the benefit of being able to leverage and help my family and friends.
Okay. You said friends. Hey, Gaines, Reed, and he joined now. He just put me on game. I ain't know Gaines was involved in that. I just seen Gaines at we need you back out to the Capitol Steps run, bro. I put you out there. I'm glad.
He be laying low. So.
Man, he laying low. But he came out there that day. Yeah. Glad, man. But look, salute to you, bro. I'm glad you came on the podcast, man. Of course, you got to come back, man, and spill some more knowledge, man, as everything grow. Again, what's some info you want to give out?
Yeah, so lastly, if I can leave y'all with anything, I would just say make sure you make your money on the purchase. So on anything that you do in life, just make sure that it's worth more than what your initial investment is. So that way, no matter if it is a crash that's supposed to come or anything like that, you know that it's worth more than what you paid for it. So yeah, and then just grind hard.
Yeah, I hear it, grind hard.